Hello to my party people out there in Radio Land. Today's topic, life is fair. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. So, your whole life, my whole life, everybody's life, everybody always says, man, life just ain't fair. Like, even when you were a kid, and you saw an injustice, right? Even within your home, your family, maybe your big brother got more cookies than you did at dessert or something like that. And the way that the powers that be at the moment, which were the adults, in your immediate surroundings, justified this injustice, right? If there's such a thing, was by saying, life ain't fair, right? That's what they want to tell you. Oh, well, when you don't like something, just kind of deal with it, basically, because that's how life goes. And I am here to assert that that is wrong. It's wrong. Every obstacle in your life, or every seemingly adverse, I got my air quotes again, adverse circumstance in your life that you were born into, you chose. You did that. You did that, right? If you are creating your life right now, which is what most of the conscious community or woke community, whatever, agrees to, right? We co-create our own realities. Then why on earth would it have been that somebody else created your beginnings? That makes no sense. How is it that you say, well, I'm creating my life now, but when I was born, I didn't? So you telling me that babies don't have consciousness? You telling me that babies aren't spiritual beings in closer connection with the higher power than even we are, right? As is everything that cannot talk. I don't know if I spoke on this before. I've written like thousands of pieces, and I've done 100 transmissions or so. So I overlap, but everything that can't talk, that has consciousness, knows everything. There's a reason everything is a trade-off. In terms of verbal communication. So like rabbits, babies, things like that, right? They know everything. They're directly connected to divine essence. That's why they can't talk. That's the trade-off for the moment. But all of that to say, when did it happen? When did you start creating your life? So if you say, well, when I turned 10, well, that's an arbitrary number. When you were 5, when you learned how to talk, is that when the universe gave you permission to start creating your life? No, it doesn't make any sense. There's no arbitrary time, which means that either you are the creator of your life, or you want to say co-creator. You either create your life or you don't. You either do or you don't, which means that, excuse me, you've been creating your life since you've manifested into this life. Even before that, right? Even before that. Some people choose harder levels, as I said before. In a transmission a couple weeks ago, right? It's obvious. I've seen it. I've seen myself juxtaposed against situations with friends, relatives, family members, and it was just obvious, right? You co-create your reality. Every obstacle exists to help us evolve or correct our thinking patterns. That's it, right? When you see an obstacle, there's a reason for it. You're supposed to level up, just like with a video game. How is it that you can play virtual reality games that have these same rules that apply to your own life, but yet not recognize them in reality, quote unquote? You know what I'm saying? How is it that you can play a game and understand that you're creating, but then log out of the game and then be like, okay, well, back to being a victim? You know what I'm saying? Back to just being a puppet on a string, the string of God, whatever God wants me to go through. No, you did that. You did that. So think about before, in a transition when I was talking about like the greats and how their lives were literally set up for greatness. You could just see it. Everything reads like a movie. It's the same thing. Obstacles also exist to help you correct your thinking patterns, right? So for example, if you're having a negative thought and you drop something or you stub your toe or something like that, it's usually a reminder to raise your vibration, right? Or your thoughts. So that you can evolve. So again, life is about evolution, going to the next level, of course, creating, manifesting, or to stay in that moment. So for example, like if I notice like when I mess up or little things go wrong, it's like I think about my thinking. So for example, if I'm doing something and I drop something or hurt my finger or something like that, I think like, okay, why did that need to happen? And usually it's not a bigger purpose at hand, like, oh, you need to hurt your finger so you can go to the doctor and see the, you know what I'm saying? It's usually like, what was I thinking when that happened? And it's one of two things. Was I thinking about the past or the future, right? Was I not in the moment? And this was just a little reminder for the universe to say, get your head in the game, right? Live in the present. None of that other stuff exists anyway, right? Like a gentle kind of pride. Or was it for me to learn from my quote unquote mistake, right? Which technically doesn't exist. We talked about that before, right? There's no such thing as a mistake. Everything is a learning experience. Everything is meant for you to evolve, right? That's how it works. So if you don't take heed to the warning, then you will, by virtue of your thoughts, create a series of unfortunate events until you either break the negative cycle or thought cycle or go to sleep and reset your vibrations. So this is how so-called bad days are born, right? That's how it works. I rarely have full-blown bad days, right? Not because, oh, God loves me. Somebody told me. I'm like, God loves you too, right? It's just our thinking that's different. But it's because I'm aware of how the energy works. That's all. And everybody can be aware. Once you know better, you do better. So if something goes wrong for me, early in the day, then I realize that I have a choice to make. Aha, see, I have a choice. So that goes back to the transmission from a couple weeks ago about not being a victim, not being victimized and saying, oh, woe is me, somebody put this upon me. No, I realize I have a choice. Yeah, I can be mad, and I should be mad. I'm human, or I can feel whatever I feel. But then I can choose to hold on to that low vibration, or I can let it go. Or I can let it go. Or I can let it go. So that's why you have people who say like, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of bed. I stubbed my toe. The cat scratched me. I got burnt with the coffee. You know what I'm saying? Notice all of that. Listen to the words. I got, as in I was put upon, I was done to. I was a victim. You created those situations. You created situations in which you were the victim. That's what you were doing. So rather than getting caught up in that, you recognize it for what it is and say, okay, I see where this is going. Break the vibration. Laugh. Tell a joke. Think of something funny, and then you good. That's my tried and true way of stopping bad days, quote unquote bad days, in their tracks. You don't have to have a whole bad day of all that negative vibrations, only if you hold on to it, which you choose to do, and you can choose not to do. We incarnate into this life to learn, evolve, and have fun. That is it. That's it. Learn, evolve, have fun, create, right? As a form of having fun. We choose our obstacles for the same reason that people who run hurdles choose to intentionally block their own path. I'm going to say that again. We choose our obstacles in life for the same reason that people who run hurdles choose to intentionally block their own path. How can you be mad at obstacles in your life? How can you be mad even if you believe that God, quote unquote, is putting these obstacles into your life? How can you be mad at them knowing that when you watch professional athletes or not, you watch a high school track team, they ain't even gotta be professionals, and you watch these people literally put obstacles in their path so that they can jump over them. What? That's insane when you think about it. You'd be like, why the hell would you do that? Why would you intentionally block your own path? To test their own skills, to push their physical, mental, psychological, emotional limits. And most importantly, for the sheer thrill of it all, for the adrenaline rush. That's why they do that. That's why they do that. It's the same thing with race car drivers, right? They put stuff in the road and then, okay, I'm supposed to turn, I'm supposed to zigzag. That's why they do it. This is a deeper level, a deeper explanation of the life is a maze transmission, right? You just doing it for fun. Don't get mad at the obstacles. It's a joke. It's a game. Life is a game. You're doing it for the fun of it, to see how you can come out of it, to see how you can create ways out of it, around it, above it, and then propel yourself to the next level of greatness. That's all it is. It's a joke. Nothing more. So being Black, being a woman, being born with certain disabilities, blah, 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 the list goes on and on, all a choice. all a choice. When I sit back and think about my life and the circumstances that I was born into and all of this, and that I've had things that I've had to go through, like, I just laugh, honestly, because I'm like, of course I did that. That sounds like something I would do. Like, let me see how I can get out of this. Let me see how I can set myself up for greatness. It's all a choice. All a choice. We all on even levels, right? We choose to manifest onto uneven levels. Why? Just for the same reason that when you play, I don't really play games, so I don't know what the newest games are, but like, I like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. Okay, you have different levels to it, right? So a person playing a video game may choose to start lower, Super Mario Brothers, at a lower level, right? Because when you start the game, it says choose your level of difficulty. Do you want it easy? You want it medium? You want it hard? It's the same thing in this game of life, right? So some people choose easier, some people choose harder. And then, bam, you manifest the situations which will allow you to incorporate those challenges into your life so that you can try to beat the game. But ultimately, it's all set up for our ultimate greatness. That's all it is. So saying life is unfair gives away your power, right? Gives away your power. Life is unfair. It victimizes you and puts you at somebody else's will, somebody else's whim, right? By making you put upon. Life is not only fair, it's amazing. It's intentional. It's a game. And that's all I got to say. Have a good week, y'all. Thank you for listening. Love, live, light, laughter.